Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Black Book Joy. Today, if you are watching, then you know that I'm in a different screen today, and that's for a very special reason, because today, as we read our wonderful book, you're going to have a chance to see me in a little bit different situation. Usually I get to hold the book in my hand and show you the pages, but this time the book is going to be on the screen and I am too, but I'll be up in the corner. So I want to welcome you today. We have had a great month of March. We've talked about imaginations and creativity, and we've talked about being a box of tech. We've talked about so many monsters and all of the things that make our world special this month that we are going to spend today talking about a part of our world that lends itself to lots of thoughts about our imagination and curiosity. And our story today is going to help us do that. So get real comfortable for Black Book Joy today. And we're going to start by me sharing my screen with you. So let me go and touch our book and wait till you see where I pop up. This is like so cool. Watch. Oh, there I am. I'm in the corner. Do you see me? I'm in the corner and our book takes center stage. Our book today is a very special book, and you can tell just by looking at the cover of the book. Look at that beautiful, brilliant black mermaid on the cover. I said mermaid. Did I give something away? I don't know, but I know that the title of our book is Oona. Oona. The title of our book is Oona. It is a New York Times best-selling author book. That means that Kelly DiPuccio is a best-selling author. That means when she writes books, lots of people read them. And the pictures are by Raisa Figueroa. Now, I hope that Miss Figueroa and Kelly DiPuccio are very, very compassionate and understanding people. I think they are if they write books for people and kids like us. But sometimes I don't say people's names right. Has that ever happened to you? Well, I hope not. And if Mr. or Miss DiPuccio and Racia Figueroa, if they were on here and I didn't say their name right, I hope that they would do the same thing you do when someone doesn't say your name right. Be very courteous, but say, excuse me, that's not how you say my name. My name is. They're not with us, so we're going to take the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully we said their names correctly as we read a book that they wrote and illustrated. And the book again is called Oona for today's Black Book Joy. Let's get started. Oona. Oona. And it looks like the author of the book dedicated this book to her editor, her family and friends, and everyone else who provided love, patience, and support while she strived toward making her dreams a reality. Here we go. Oona was sweet and a little bit salty, like the ocean where she lived. She was also brave and curious, like most treasure hunters. When Oona was just a baby, no bigger than a scallop, she chased a pearl into the mouth of a whale. Lucky for her, she popped right back out. As years passed, Oona found a bigger treasure and even bigger trouble. It's a good thing she has Otto. Oona has Otto. Oona rescued Otto from an oyster nest when he was just a pup. She taught him tricks like sit, roll over, walrus, and her favorite, puffer fish. I want you to remember puffer fish. Oona taught Otto. Oona and Otto searched for treasure nearly every day. They uncovered keys and coins and buttons and bottles. Sometimes they even found lost gold and sometimes lost glasses. But there was one special treasure Oona could never quite reach the crown. It was extra sparkly in a way that made Oona's heart thump. But the crown was stuck deep in the rift, and not a pole or a pail or the sticky stick of a snail could get it unstuck. Still, Oona was determined. Her next plan was a good one. She knocked the crown loose. Unfortunately, the current shifted. The lobster crate and rock drifted, and the squid, well, see for yourself. It's hard to say who was more surprised when the water cleared, Oona or the shark. Her third plan most definitely would have worked if the crabs hadn't been so crabby and the waves hadn't been so wavy. Crabs crabby and waves wavy. And if that long ship plank hadn't bumped her head hard before the greedy rift gobbled it up too. Poor Oona. This was getting personal. She shouted into the pit, "You can keep your dumb crown. I quit." Generally speaking, mermaids are not quitters. But at this point, one could hardly blame her. Instead of looking for treasure with Otto, Oona napped on the rocks with the sea lions. She drew pictures in the sand with the starfish, and she read from her favorite glass bottles with her land friends. All of this would have been perfectly fine, except Anna wasn't perfectly fine. Clearly, she was missing her spark, and a mermaid without her spark is like a seagull without an appetite. Unnatural. A seashell washed ashore. Oona studied it thoughtfully. It gave her an idea. She got right to work. The next day, Oona peered nervously into the rift. Why did it look so much deeper and scarier than she remembered? Otto pretended to be a narwhal, making Oona laugh. Admittedly, the new treasure hunting goggles she invented were funny looking, but they were also her best shot at reaching the crown. She dove to the bottom of the murky rift, and that's when Anna noticed something she couldn't see from above. A bridge, a bridge made from a crate, a rock, and a very same plank that had plunked her in her head, and it led straight to the crown. But what was that rumbling sound? It grew louder and louder. The ocean floor shook and the water ran on a churned into a thick stew of swirling sand and sea creatures. She couldn't see. She felt trapped. Would the hungry rift gobble her up too? Through the commotion, Oona could hear something else in the distance. It was faint, but comforting and familiar. The whales. Oona sang along until the rumbling stopped and the water cleared. Finally, this was her chance. Oona held her breath, ready, steady, aim. Clink! Hooray! We did it! Oona cheered, placing the crown on her best friend. It really is beautiful, she gushed. But these, Oona said excitedly, holding up her new goggles, these are spectacular. Odo agreed, because sometimes the best treasure in the world isn't found. It's made. Oona, She found out something that was very important. The best treasures in the world sometimes aren't found, they're made. Talk about using your imagination and being creative. Today, in our story about Oona and her friend Otto, they went on a big adventure together. Underneath the water as a mermaid, they had lots of experiences. Ona even got to come up and talk with her land friends sometimes. It was difficult looking back, thinking about all the ways she felt bad about herself sometimes and bad about not reaching the crowd. But in the end, it was all worth it because she recognized something that was right in front of her the whole time was the most special gift of all. So today, as we celebrate on Black Book Joy, the wonderful gift of sharing and caring about the things that are around us and using our imagination and our creativity to do it, I want to start by going back to something we saw at the beginning of our story today. And if you'll look on the pages with me, let's turn back to the very beginning and see if we can see what wonderful thing that was. Look at the beautiful pictures again. I'm wondering as we go back, what do you love about the pictures on this page? I think it's so cool. I love Ona's hair. I love the color of her mermaid leg. I love the crown in this picture and how the artist made it shine in the deep, dark ocean. Look at that. She found those bottles and got right to work. That is so cool. Looking back, missing her spark. Remember, things just didn't feel the same. But I want to go all the way back to when today we saw one of her friends who happened to be Otto. And Otto was being taught by Ona how to do different things. And one of those things was how to be a puffer fish. And there's a picture on our screen of a puffer fish. If you look at Otto and you look at Anna, you can tell what makes them look like a puffer fish. And if you think about a puffer, you think about a puff. And if you think about a puff, you usually think about your cheeks getting real puffy. So what I want to do with you today is to make some puffer fish cheeks using our imagination and our creativity. First, I want us to make some puffer fish cheeks with our body. And then second, I want to talk about some of the pages in our story and how we can make puffer fish come to life with some of the words that we heard today for our craft. All right, everybody, so let's start. Today we're going to make a puffer fish face. Now, here's how I'm going to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it. Maybe you'll think it's pretty simple, but I'm going to take a deep breath in through my nose, in through my nostril, all the way into my head, into my ears, and until my mouth closes up and my cheeks fill with air. Watch. Puffer fish. Now you try. Ready? Here we go. Puffer fish. The thing that I like about a puffer fish is that it reminds me to always take stock of how I'm feeling. We talked about that a little bit last week. And in our story today, Ona's not feeling so great at a couple points. Remember, she got so frustrated. She said, I don't even care about the crown. Did she really? She really did care about the crown. But A puffer fish gives us a time to stop and think about how we're really feeling while our jaws are blown up. So let me tell you what I mean. Today, when I talked to my daughter, who is away at college, she was kind of sad. She missed her mom. And so this is how, when I was talking to her, I was thinking about what to say to make her feel better. By making myself a puffer fish, it gave me time to think before I acted, think before I actually said something to her. Watch. Grace, I miss you too. It gave me a chance to think what words I wanted to use to tell how I was feeling and how to make her feel better. You can try that too, being a puffer fish. Big inhale in, think about what you want to say and how you're feeling, and let it go. And when you let it go, think about how you're feeling on the inside and let it out. I kind of think that might be one of the reasons that Oona loved pretending to be a puffer fish with Otto, because Oona kind of knew how to deal with her feelings. Even though she was upset about the crown, she got into it when she realized she could actually do something about it. And that happens a lot of times for us. We get frustrated because we think, I can't do anything. It's not going to make a difference. I don't know what good it'll do. Negative, negative, negative talk. Instead, be a puffer fish and think about something positive that we can do instead. When we look at our story today and when we turn the pages back, think about what Anna could have said when she found all of the coins and the buttons and the bottles and even lost gold. How did she feel then? We're going to say it after we take our puffer fish puff in. Ready? Excited. That's my word for why I feel when I'm happy. Excited. Maybe Anna felt excited. And here was a time where she was down in the sea and she could not reach the crown, no matter how hard she tried. It said, but Ona was determined. Let's see if we can make a puffer fish and then use our imagination to think about what our face looks like when we are determined to get something. Ready? There's my determined face. It looks like no matter what, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to stay focused. I'm determined. I'm going to finish the race. That's how Ona felt on that page. Remember here, she came up with a plan. The plan didn't work. She kept working at it. She had a third plan, but remember the crabs were crabby and the waves were wavy. You ever wanted to do something and people were crabby and wavy around you? Crabby, wavy. They don't know what they want to do, or they're real anxious and kind of upset about it. How does that make you feel? Let's take in a puffer fish and think about how we feel when the people around us are crabby or wavy. Be honest. Here we go. Frustrated. What word did you use? Frustrated was my word. You might have said impatient or lonely or let down. Who knows? But it's your feelings because that's how you feel. So Ona was feeling kind of frustrated maybe when her friends were crabby and wavy. Remember the other pictures? Poor Ona. This is when she said, you can keep your dumb crown. I quit. Did she really feel like it was over? No, there was still a little piece at the bottom of her heart that still wanted to do it. You know, sometimes when you don't feel good or you feel like you're frustrated because it hasn't happened yet, and people around you are crabby or wavy, or maybe it's you who's crabby or wavy. You say things sometimes that you don't really mean. Maybe you might say something like, I quit. I don't want to do it. Or here's one that a lot of people say, I don't care. I don't care. You do care deep down inside. So we want to think about other words to say that really let people know how we feel. So here, Oona said, you can keep your dumb crown. I quit. But how do you think she was really feeling? We're going to do a puffer fish and say the word. Ready? Let's try. Disappointed. That's the word I chose. Look at Ona's face. She seems disappointed to me. How about you? And just a couple of more. This is the one I'm wanting to get to. On your screen, when she's at the ocean floor and the water is churning around her, she couldn't see and she felt trapped. And she's wondering if she'll be lost forever. But right then, a large group of whales started swimming around, and she felt they were very familiar. And she felt like, now I can maybe do this. I'm willing to try again. We used a word a few minutes ago that probably describes how she's feeling here again. Think about that word you would use when you want to do it now, no matter what, and you're not going to give up. We're going to do a puffer fish and say that word. We've already said it once. Let's see if you can do it again. Here we go. Determined. Determined. She knew this time she could get it. And she said, ready, steady, aim. Hooray, she got the crown. I got the crown today because I got to spend time with you reading a fantastic book called Oona. I got to use my imagination and my creativity as I made puffer fish and thought about my feelings inside. Today, I want you to do the same thing. As you think about your feelings, make sure you make a puffer fish and let people know how it is that you're feeling on the inside. What words can you use to describe how you're feeling? Until next time, you guys, this has been Auntie Michelle on Black Book Joy. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.